Welcome to our channel. Today, we're going to summarize the 5 acts of Macbeth. Act 1. The play opens with 3 witches planning to meet Macbeth after the battle is over. They predict that Macbeth will become Thane of Cawdor and eventually the King of Scotland. The scene then shifts to a battlefield, where King Duncan and his generals celebrate their victory over a rebel army. Macbeth, a Scottish general, and Banquo, his fellow warrior, are returning from the battle when they encounter the witches. The witches hail Macbeth as Thane of Cawdor and future king, awakening his ambition. Macbeth is confused by the witches' prophecy but begins to contemplate what it would mean to become king. He writes a letter to his wife Lady Macbeth, informing her of the witches' predictions. Lady Macbeth, a ruthless and ambitious woman, immediately begins to plot to murder King Duncan and seize the throne. She convinces her husband to kill the king while he is a guest in their castle. After the murder, Macbeth is racked with guilt and hallucinates, seeing a bloody dagger and hearing voices. Lady Macbeth takes charge and frames the king's attendants for the murder. Duncan's sons, Malcolm and Donalbain, flee Scotland, fearing for their lives. Macbeth is crowned King of Scotland, and he begins to reign with increasing tyranny, ordering the murder of Banquo and his son, Fleitons, in order to secure his position on the throne. Act 2. In Act 2, Macbeth and Lady Macbeth's plan is put into motion. Macbeth murders King Duncan, and after the murder, he is racked with guilt and hallucinates again. Lady Macbeth takes charge and frames the king's attendants for the murder. Meanwhile, Duncan's sons, Malcolm and Donalbain, flee Scotland, fearing for their lives. Macbeth is crowned King of Scotland, and he begins to reign with increasing tyranny, ordering the murder of Banquo and his son, Fleitons, in order to secure his position on the throne. Macbeth is plagued by guilt and paranoia, and he begins to see ghosts and hallucinations. Lady Macbeth tries to reassure him, but her own guilt is starting to consume her. She sleepwalks and is tormented by visions of blood on her hands. She is becoming increasingly unstable and loses her grip on reality. Act 3. In Act 3, Macbeth becomes increasingly paranoid and desperate to maintain his power. He seeks out the witches once more and demands that they reveal his future. They show him a vision of a line of kings, the last of whom is holding a mirror. Macbeth believes this to be a threat to his reign, and orders the murder of Banquo and his son Fleitons. However, Fleitons escapes. Macbeth's power and ambition are beginning to consume him, and he becomes more isolated from his allies and friends. Meanwhile, Macduff, a nobleman who has refused to attend Macbeth's coronation, becomes suspicious of the new king and flees to England to seek help in overthrowing him. Macduff meets with Malcolm, the son of King Duncan, who is also seeking to reclaim the throne. Together, they plan to attack Macbeth's castle. Act 4. In Act 4, Macbeth visits the witches once more and demands to know his future. They tell him that he will not be defeated until Birnam Wood comes to Dunsinane and that he should beware of Macduff. Macbeth is reassured by this prophecy, but he becomes increasingly cruel and paranoid, ordering the murder of Macduff's family. Lady Macbeth is consumed by guilt and madness, and she dies off stage. Macbeth learns of her death and is struck by a sense of despair and isolation, realizing that all his ambition and bloodshed have led to nothing but his own downfall. Macduff and Malcolm lead an army against Macbeth's castle, and they use branches from Birnam Wood to camouflage their approach. Macbeth is confident in his ability to withstand the siege, but he is taken by surprise when he learns that Macduff was born by caesarean section, and therefore technically not born of woman, as the witches had predicted. Macduff kills Macbeth in a one-on-one battle, and Malcolm is crowned King of Scotland. Act 5. In Act 5, Macbeth's downfall is complete, and the play ends with the triumph of good over evil. Macduff finds Macbeth's body and brings it to Malcolm, who is now King of Scotland. The witches appear once more, and they prophesy that Banquo's descendants will eventually rule Scotland. The play ends with Malcolm's coronation, and the sense that the country has been restored to peace and stability. Overall, Macbeth is a play about ambition, power, and the corrupting influence of unchecked desire. It is a cautionary tale about the dangers of greed and the consequences of unchecked ambition. Through the character of Macbeth, Shakespeare explores the human desire for power and the moral cost of achieving it. The play is a masterpiece of dramatic tension and psychological insight, and it remains one of Shakespeare's most popular and enduring works. Thanks for watching. To read the full version of the book, click on the link in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for similar content.